top laner. So I think one thing is that Nami, having lost a lot of power with the mandate changes, does kind of weaken
Mel.
Okay. I guess the thought process here is that so far this is a pretty squishy composition for HANJIN BRION, so maybe they're like, no, we have enough damage, we can just explode them. And honestly, as far as mages go, Mel does a lot of damage. But
yeah,
Mel comes through.
If it's a long-range poke war, I think she's going to be very happy. There's no way Loki subs in and plays Fizz, right? That's not something that people do. All right, now I'm going to come on.
Okay.
Talia going to be the pick.
So, as for pairings with Mel, we often see a pick that has a good amount of setup. But here specifically into Nico, I feel like, I mean, you could play Pyke. Mel Pyke has been the common pairing.
Yeah. Shen.
I like Shen more. I think picks like Shen or Leona can circumvent the clone better than
They can do on the side of Brion if they're going to make this an interesting series, or will DPLUS just run away with it as we hop into the rift for game number 3? Here we go, game number 3. The Brion faithful still believing. And they should. I mean, to be honest, there is a big gap this year between Legend and Rise. It's very different from last year where DPLUS barely got pushed and forced into the Rise group by having just barely slightly worse record than KT and Nongshim. This time, bro, are very far behind in terms of the wins in series. 5 series wins behind DPLUS, who are in 5th. So Legend and Rise, there is a big gap. And bro, here for Road to MSI, they have squeaked in as the 6th seed. So it was always going to be a challenge. But I want to see more of game 1. Not game 2. Nobody wants to see that.
No.
I feel like even DPLUS fans are like, I don't know, like that wasn't that interesting. Like, can we get some better gameplay?
They don't trust it. Like, who is this team?
Yeah, exactly.
I will say for HANJIN BRION, they've given themselves some strong lanes. Want to see them play it out correctly. Double range bot into range melee. They should be having pressure bot. Loki's got the prio mid. That's kind of expected. Top lane, even though we've seen the top lane matchup go amiss many times, casting should have the pressure in this matchup. So you need to be having the city pressure if HANJIN BRION are going to be successful. A little bit of win lane, win game.
Yeah.
Starts with win lane.
Don't get ahead of yourself and try to win the game before you win the lane. These are all very good picks for the side of DPLUS. I suppose Shiu has kind of the record that's the most sus, but still 2-2 is not bad. As Gideon, he gets in, but cloning away from the wind becomes lightning, and now Keria just flashes on in. There's the taunt, and Gideon's just dead. The big Gideon head not going to help him this time as Lucid picks up first blood.
The problem is, I think Gideon was in the mindset of, I have my red buff is really strong early, it's giving me a lot of power, but enemy support is closer, and it's also a Shen. I think you have to read, he's always going to taunt flash on you. It's just very telegraphed, and if you get hit by that, you're just dead. Just 100 times out of 100, that is the exact passage of play that's going to happen, and he just simply didn't react to it. I want to see the replay and see exactly the timing and the vision that was available. But if you get hit by that, that's exactly how it's going to go down every single time.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward, as you mentioned. Here's the replay.
Yeah, so he had the ward over the wall, so he knew Keria was here. So he knows exactly...
Namgoong's right next to...
As soon as Keria taunts, you know he's going to flash. There is no Shen player in the entire world who taunts over the wall just to gap close and then walks it. That's just never happening.
Not at this level.
No, not even in like silver.
Yeah, it's true.
So Yeah, to me, that's like you have to flash as Gideon, and the fact he didn't is just kind of a big mistake. And then it puts him really far behind in the jungle. So, pretty big error there, and a good play from Keria.
Cleanse is extremely valuable for Teddy in this game. He's going to lose it, but now Keria's in a rough spot. He's getting poked out, and I think he just kind of dies. Is trying to go back in, but now the setup here for Smash just gets the kill. As Teddy was taking damage the entire time they were pushing onto the Shen, and Namgung has to flash away.
Honestly, very close. Just second kill for Smash, but Keria overextends. It's a little delicate in that situation, but able to turn it around at the last second with the Ignite, and Smash is able to get the kill. So this ends up massively favorable for DPLUS because they get the cleanse, and as they're kiting out, Smash is just constantly getting damage down. And you see, as the play continues, he's trying to dodge away.
Yeah.
He's trying to kite, the rebuttal comes through, and he gets that auto and that Ignite. And that's enough, but they burnt Cleanse and Namgoon's Flash. So really favorable trade in terms of summoners there. On top of the one for one kill trade, and it was Smash who survived, so you got to push in the wave. Things going really well for DPLUS so far.
Yeah. And, I mean, you were just talking about how Bro have all these winning lanes. They really have to utilize them, get ahead, so that they're not in a position where they don't have vision and they get engaged on by Wukong and Shen and Annie, or flanked by a Scion. I mean, there's just so many threats. You really have to win the lane here as Bro. And, I mean, they're not super far behind after that one play. Even the play in the jungle. Showmaker is going to throw in the bear onto Gideon as he finds a Xin Zhao where he didn't want to see him. As Showmaker is trying to move down towards the dragon, which is being taken here by Lucid.
Yeah, not really in a position to contest this one. Lucid is so far ahead of Gideon. I think there's nothing worse than going for an early invade when you're 2-0 down in a series and it backfiring. Especially when Gideon's been pretty solid.
I thought you said there's nothing worse than when you're in a counter matchup, you're the counter and you lose the lane.
Look, there's a lot of things that are really bad, okay? There's nothing worse than playing into Mel and firing an ability and getting it fired back at you.
Yeah, especially when you're behind and you have to play into Mel. You could be ahead, honestly.
I think what we can agree.
Uh-oh. Well, he doesn't have cleanse, so he's going to have to use the flash.
I think there's nothing worse than getting ganked and burning your flash.
Well, he could be not Ezreal.
That's true.
Then it would be worse.
I think what we can agree is that there's a lot of things that are pretty bad, and sometimes I exaggerate a little bit.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
It does happen from time to time.
Perhaps.
Hey, casting got a lead in top. You know, he's had kind of a rough day today, but
that's good.
He's been able to turn it around, so that's good for him.
Yep. See. Mid lane's pretty even, so there is some positives to be taken away. And look, they're not mega far behind this game, which is definitely better than game 2.
Yeah.
Gotta take the silver linings.
Yeah, I just think, you know, after what we've seen so far today, even a small lead that goes the way of DPLUS Kia, especially with some of the mistakes that we don't usually see at this level, that did happen even in this game. You begin to get a bit scared, a bit fearful that Bro are not going to make this an interesting series. But as of right now, I mean, the game is still in touching distance, so we'll see what happens. We'll give them a chance. Loki's playing Talia in mid. He's going to accept a bear to the face, as you do when you play into Annie.
I think, honestly, playing into Annie is just so unfun in the mid lane.
There's nothing worse.
There's nothing worse than playing into Annie in the mid lane.
Yeah, and just not being able to trade against Tivers.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than getting zoned off bot lane tower by the enemy bot lane and jungle, and you can't farm.
Yeah. Especially when you're Teddy, and at this point, especially now that Gideon's fallen behind, you kind of need to do the carrying in this game. But I do like the play from DPLUS Kia where they say, okay, well, we've gotten a lead here. We can utilize our big jungle lead as well. As now trying to go for the play, as in they go. Big Cyclone on a 3. They want to take out Loki, but he will survive for now. Gideon also flashes away, but a stun here on an Amgung, and he's going to go down. So kind of paying for his brothers who did get caught. And that's another kill on the board here for DPLUS Kia.
There's nothing worse than when you're behind in the jungle and they steal your blue buff.
End your Gromp.
Oh my god, there really is nothing worse than that. Okay, I've said it to it. I'm going to stop now. It's hitting me. There's nothing worse than when the casters say there's nothing worse too many times.
Yeah, can they please just talk about the game, you know?
Yeah, so the Unraveled Earth is a little late, and then I was so scared for Loki because the Crescent Guard knocked them towards him. But they all just flash away, and then Namgun just dies as a sacrifice. But even though the lanes are kind of going well earlier, Smash has got to the point where he's just built up the pressure. He's a big problem. He's now ahead. Jungle is bleeding out. And Showmaker hit that level 6 point on Annie where he now just, oh look, he's got Tibbers back. I wonder what he's about to do.
Yeah.
Any second now. There we go. Wow.
There it is.
What an interactive lane.
There are things worse than this, but it doesn't feel good.
There's not many.
Yeah. I tried to mix it up, you know. Try a new thing that I say.
That's actually good casting technique. You mix up, you change the wording a little bit.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I wonder what the evolution of this Mel is going to look like in Pro, because I feel like a lot of our top 80 carries now are really getting good at this champ. And the more we see it, it just feels like you can't punish it that well. It even has pressure with some of the supports we see with it. It can play alone in the lane if it has to. It scales very well. Yeah, sure, you don't have an 80 carry, but I feel like in this meta, especially if you're playing into a composition that doesn't have too much tankiness, you can really get a lot of value. I mean, think about Peas and what he's been able to do on this pick. Smash now, showing a good performance here. I mean, obviously, this isn't the most competitive series so far, but I don't know. Every time I see this Mel in the bot lane, I've been shocked by how much value the teams are getting with it.
Yeah, I think we've definitely seen some very specific comps where it's struggled, like into the Olaf. It's been a problem. But I think if you're picking it when you have a good idea of the composition, like here, where you see the top side of the map for the most part, specifically the top laner helped a lot. I think you can get a good amount of information there, and it makes it a much more informed decision. I think I'm interested in seeing how much the support meta is going to change, because right now Keria has his ultimate, has Locket completed, which has obviously been buffed to give him a bit of extra resistances, but just be able to arrive with the channel and then press Locket. There's a lot of extra durability with that map play. So we'll see what Keria can do with that on hand.
Lucid's playing the way that he played the Jarvan, which is, I'm ahead, I just attack you. And he's even just going to Cyclone in on the Gideon, who does get taunted up. The Pot Blossom is there, but immediately Gideon falls. Loki shows up, and Lucid, there is the shield. And a ton of damage just takes out Teddy, who, I don't know what was going on there, but he got over the wall and just died immediately. Not the play you want to see.
And in this situation, yes, they do finally manage to kill Lucid. But it's a triple kill there for Smash in return. So not really much of a trade you're looking for. It's a 3,000 goal lead at 12 minutes. Just when we're saying at least the game isn't as bad as game 2, it ends up being. So Lucid goes for the engage here. They try and turn things around onto them. But the slide comes in from Keria, the CC, the shielding on Lucid, the ult there at the end. And the burst damage in return. And then casting TPs in doesn't really achieve anything with it. And in the meantime, she was just pushing top. So you TP in, you fed, Jace doesn't really contribute too much in terms of helping out. And right now, it's a 1,100 gold lead for Shiwu. 2,000 gold lead between the bot laners. And if you look, there's a 2,600 gold lead between teams.
The Couriers have had some really highlights, like some big highlights.
One of the things,
and also that
with Shen, is that when you taunt Flash, the taunt is like a line, and then the flash is like a dot. It's like you flash and then you taunt on the precise space you land. If the enemy doesn't have flash, you can just flash taunt. Because then you move, and then the new taunt is like a line. Then you can't really miss. So in that situation, where his target didn't have flash, you should just flash taunt, and
or
he wouldn't miss.
You could just flash on the target as well. That works too.
Yeah, he could have just done that.
Yeah.
But there's just lower chance of fail if you just flash taunts.
Yeah, you're right. It's true.
Because sometimes you do make mistakes, but if you flash taunts, he can't make. Well, unless he just misses the taunt, that would have also been bad. But you know, I think he's allowed himself a mistake in this one. Or has he? Could this be the downfall? Could this be the turning point for HANJIN BRION? The last little bit of bro tax just came in. The tipping point is here, and now they're about to start the recovery for the series. Maybe. But currently it is looking pretty tough.
Yeah. Better late than never. But they need an answer for the Mel. I mean, we talked about all the engage tools for DPLUS Keria. On the side of Bro, it's Nico. I mean, you have ways to set up plays with, like, Talia. Even Xinjiao can make some stuff happen.
Hey, that rhymed. Ways to set up plays.
Yeah.
You're a poet.
That's how you do it.
You didn't know it.
That's how you do it. And, I mean, they just don't have a lot of ways to get on the mount. Like, he needs to severely miss position or get flashed on big time. As they're trying to do something to Shiyu here. He is very tanky, but they are going to throw everything into him. As now Gideon going to take turret aggro, has to flash away. And all of a sudden, Shiyu's like, maybe I can pick up a kill here in the 1v3.
Yeah, so there was this whole lane swap meta where we learned a lot about diving Scion and the difficulties.
Yeah.
I guess we're relearning those lessons. He's pretty low now.
Yeah.
And the tower, additionally, is pretty low.
Poke at him, you know. Casting is going to get the turret now, but okay, nice knockback there. But we got a Shen coming in, so eventually he will just die. Shiyu does pick him up. Now Loki flashing away as he just picked up his Seraph's Embrace. And, I mean, they got the turret. Did Bro. It's not the first turret, as DK already have two. And they will pick up their third.
Yeah. That whole thing was a little interesting. HANJIN BRION, it kind of feels just like a repeat of Game 2, where they're trying things, and you know they do have to try things, but it just feels very delicate. They're 5,000 gold down. You know, it's the scariest thing in that dive they went for before with 3 people. His ult was up then, and if he'd ulted then, they could have just all died. That would have been even worse. Okay, TP's coming in. Oh no.
Yeah, Combat Herald and Loki.
Where'd he go?
He TP'd into Annie, and so he died. Nice driving here from Lucid, who's also going to get the knock up. And now gets knocked back as he tries to dash away. There's the Cyclone. He's just trying to survive here against 4 people. Getting a little bit silly now, as he didn't have to do that, but he did. So a kill is given over to Bro.
I feel like I have whiplash almost, because last game, it just felt like it always had that vibe.
Yeah.
This game didn't have that vibe, but now it does. It just feels like it's just devolved very quickly. It's a 6,500 gold lead. This is not even close to the most regrettable TP of the series, but it's still pretty regrettable.
Oh no.
Yeah, just instantly deleted. And then they do kill Lucid, so at least that came through. But, yeah, you got the gold from the plates. That's something. Smash is just absurdly strong. It's a pretty absurd level.
Yeah.
Look at the gold difference.
He is the most far ahead by far. Has the most gold in the game of anyone by far, as a awesome dude.
He has 50% more gold than Teddy right now.
Yeah.
Teddy has 7,000, and he has 10,500.
He did the math.
That's just absurd. Well,
who wins, Casting or Tibbers? I think we're going to find out pretty quickly. As, yeah, unfortunately we have to find out about this. Loki was coming down to help, I guess. But at the end of the day, like, once casting is chunked, he's not going in for a play. Even against the Annie, I don't know if they win 1v2, 2v1. And of course, the rest of DK came in. They have a Shen too, so it's like if you're playing against a Pantheon, right? You have to always remember that they have a global.
Hey, Brennan, look at this goal graph. Remember 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Remember 2 minutes?
I do remember that, yeah.
And HANJIN BRION were heading gold. I remember those times.
Yeah.
Back when they had a chance.
I was excited after game 1 too. Well, maybe not after. But like all the way up until almost the end.
There was a point I was like, this feels competitive.
Yeah. I was like, maybe we will get a good series today.
I mean, DPLUS, the things we can say, DPLUS looking like maybe this is the start of a gauntlet run.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he is just dead. He's just very dead.
He's actually just dead.
He's
just waiting for another ability. Does pick up the kill. And Loki, I mean, again, our spacers talked about it. This is not an enviable position to be subbed into the series, right? But unfortunately, he is also having a rough time here.
Yeah, I think with how DPLUS are playing, obviously game 1 was a bit of an outlier. Game 2 and 3, though, they look significantly stronger than HANJIN BRION. And when we look at the top 4 in the LCK, prior to this, based on the standings, I felt like there was a pretty big gap between DPLUS and the rest. But if we look at like current form, KT definitely have looked weaker than the other 3. And based on this form, I think DPLUS could well be a big challenge for KT. So this is definitely a good showing from DPLUS. HANJIN BRION, they're trying to make a play for Showmaker. Could this be their way back in the game?
8 seconds until the Shen ults. Showmaker's just trying to run it off. Doesn't have his stun back. He needs a couple more abilities.
1 second.
And there's the Molten Shield, and the Q gets the stun. Even the Baron is hitting Gideon. Nobody is helping Bro in this series. As in goes Lucid, trying to take out Teddy. Namdoong's right there, and he's like, I'm helping, I swear.
Yeah.
He wasn't really helping. And, yeah. DPLUS are just kind of shellacking them.
Yeah.
If I can use that term.
You know what? You know what, Brendan?
Yeah.
I'm going to allow it. I'm going to allow you to use that.
I mean, you don't have the authority. It's actually Atlas who we do have here.
I'm going to give myself the authority to allow you to use that too. So you can just...
Fair enough. Can't argue against that.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Well, Baron will be secured. It's an 11,100 gold lead. This play is not the play that ended this game or this series. It felt pretty over before this, but it definitely did not help. The wind becomes lightning missing, and then he gets stunned, chases him down. Oh, it's a bit of a tough one.
And Teddy's like, I'm going to come over here and try to help you out, Gideon. Lucid was right there. He's level 14.
Yeah.
15 now. He's ahead of Showmaker. They're trying to kill Sion again. I mean, this...
He has ult up in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I actually think he just...
Trying to get in front of him, but he can't. Knockback comes in.
He doesn't even have to ult. He doesn't have to flash. You know, he can go back. You know, go back in. Honestly, Shu, I want to see it. Just go back in.
Yeah, I don't think he would actually die. Like, just get in there and stop Talia's back. You know. True Shot Barrage helps push them off of the turret for now. Yeah, he's back in there. Nobody's actually still here, though.
I am very curious what state D-Gon is going to be in after this series.
Yeah, what did, you know, he jumped ship. He went for the 3-2 prediction for DK, so I'm sure he's probably not that hurt. Now looking for the flank here. Namgung trying, but again, the follow-up, it's just really not there. Nobody's here. I mean, Teddy wasn't there. And again, they're super far behind. So Lucid's just going to press his buttons. He's got the Giga Fed smash right behind him. Even the True Shot Barrage, just to add insult to injury. And that's definitely the way that DPLUS Kia likes to do it. Traditionally, definitely very good at punching down, although this series it has been a little bit less of that. In goes Shiu into the Nexus turrets, and yeah, it's just over. They're going to take down Casting, and Teddy, not this time, buddy. Maybe next time, going to try their best in the Rise group, as Bro will not be moving on in the road to MSI. DPLUS Keo with the quick 3-0 tonight.